The stable at Hollow Hill looked quiet in the day. It looked normal. People came and went. Horses ate hay. Workers swept the floor. But the stable was old. So old. The wood creaked with strange sounds. The paint was thin and peeling like old dry skin. A strange wind always seemed to walk by the door, even on still days. The older kids in town dared each other to touch the rusty gate after dark. The grown-ups just shook their heads. They would whisper that the stable wasn't quite right. They said something odd happened there when the sun went down. On the first night of Halloween week, Sam stood by that very gate. Sam was 12, and Sam loved horses more than anything. A small, flickering lantern dangled from his hand, casting long, dancing shadows on the ground. He watched the stable, his heart thumping a little faster than usual. The moon was just a thin, silver claw in the black sky. The air felt cold. It carried a smell of damp earth. Something else. Something like old secrets. Sam told himself he was brave, but a tiny part of him, a very small, shivery part, was also a little scared. The stable keeper was a man named Mr. Lowe. He was kind, with a face full of friendly wrinkles. He knew every horse by name and every secret of the old barn.
You should be heading home, Sam. It gets strange here at night.
Strange how?
But Mr. Lowe only shrugged his shoulders. He looked away, toward the dark woods behind the stable. A serious, worried look settled on his face, and that just made Sam want to see for himself. So, Sam took a deep breath and pushed the creaking gate open. He stepped inside. A tall horse lifted its head from the deepest shadows. Its coat was dark as a moonless night, so dark it seemed to swallow the lantern's weak light. The horse stood alone in a small, forgotten stall at the very end of the row. Sam was sure he had never seen this horse before. A small, tarnished nameplate was nailed to the stall door. In faint letters, it read, Nightwind. The horse had old, wise eyes. They didn't just reflect the light, they seemed to shine with a light of their own, like two small, pale moons. It twitched its ears, listening to something Sam couldn't hear. Sam took a careful step closer, but Nightwind did not step back. The horse did not neigh. The horse did not snort. It only watched him with that unnerving, steady gaze. As Sam stood there, mesmerized, he heard a tiny, clear sound. It was the delicate ring of a single, small bell. He looked around, confused. It wasn't from a halter or any tack he could see. The bell rang just once, a tiny silver note in the heavy silence. At that exact moment, the straw in Nightwind's stall shivered, as if an invisible hand had stirred it.
Hello?
He returned the very next night. He couldn't stay away. This time, he brought a shiny red apple in his pocket. The stable felt even darker now. The sliver of a moon gave almost no light, and the shadows seemed deeper and hungrier. Nightwind was awake, waiting. But this time, the horse was not in its stall. It was standing just outside of it, like a silent, dark guard. Sam stopped, his heart jumping into his throat. A sudden cold breeze swirled through the open doorway, making his lantern flame shake wildly. The apple in Sam's hand felt small and silly. He held it out, his hand trembling. Nightwind took it, but so gently. The horse didn't eat like other horses. It took slow, small bites, chewing with a strange, quiet grace. And then Sam heard it again, the tiny bell, ring. After Nightwind finished the apple, Sam noticed something on the dusty floor. Footprints. They were not horse prints. They were not hoof marks. They were small and round, like the prints of a child's bare feet. Strange looping pattern around Nightwind's stall, up and down in little swirls, as if someone had been dancing on their tiptoes. He touched it. The dust felt cool, colder than the rest of the floor. He decided to follow them, lantern held low. Tiny footprints leading away from the stall. They stopped beside a large, old trunk against the far wall. The trunk was covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Sitting on top, perfectly clean, a single, faded blue ribbon. It looked new. He lifted the heavy lid with hesitant fingers. A puff of musty air escaped. Inside, on old blankets, a small coat, a child's coat made of soft blue wool. On top, a tiny yellowed note. messy childlike handwriting, faded ink. The note read, "For Nightwind. Keep him safe." A wave of sadness washed over Sam. He thought of a child who loved this horse. He thought of loss and the cold wind whispering through the stable cracks. He looked at Nightwind, moon-like eyes, watching, soft and knowing. He left the coat and note as found, closing the trunk with care. He felt he'd found a secret not his to disturb. One night, a big storm rolled into Hollow Hill. Fierce rain battered the old roof. The wind howled like a hungry wolf, trying to tear the stable doors from their hinges. The horses grew restless, their whinnies filled with fear. Mr. Lowe rushed around, his face tight with worry, tying the doors shut with thick rope. Suddenly, a loud crack echoed through the barn. A loose board came crashing down near one of the stalls. A foal cried out in terror. The foal was only a few weeks old. It trembled violently with fear. Sam ran toward the foal's stall, his heart pounding. But Nightwind was already there. The tall, dark horse had somehow gotten out of his own stall and was pressing his side gently against the foal's enclosure. He lowered his great head, nudging the small horse as if to say, "I am here." Instantly, the foal began to calm down. "You are safe." At that very moment, the little bell rang, not once, but over and over, loud and clear above the storm's roar. A strange light began to emanate from the old trunk. The little blue coat inside seemed to glow with a soft, warm light. Sam watched in disbelief as the shadows gathered. They moved from the corners and formed a small circle around Nightwind and the foal. The circle of shadows shone with a soft, protective light, pushing back the darkness of the storm. The wind outside seemed to lose its anger. The battering rain slowed to a gentle whisper. Mr. Lowe, who had come running, stood frozen, his eyes wide with amazement. He stared at the glowing circle and the calm horses.
What is that?
Sam didn't know what to say. He just knew he was witnessing something impossible. The next day, the whole town was talking. The storm had been bad, but the stories about the stable were even wilder. Old Mrs. Finch swore she heard a child singing coming from the stable during the worst of the wind. Other workers said they saw a strange, soft light glowing by the back stall. For the first time, Mr. Lowe didn't just shrug. He gathered a few people, including Sam, and told a small, sad tale. He said that long, long ago, a little girl had lived near Hollow Hill. Her name was Lily. She loved one horse more than anything in the world, a beautiful black colt she had named Nightwind. The girl was never seen without her favorite blue wool coat, but the child had gotten sick and died too soon. On her last day, she made her parents promise to always keep her beloved horse safe. People had called it a legend. After the storm, more began to listen. Sam now understood. He wasn't afraid of Nightwind anymore. He loved him. He visited every day, bringing soft carrots and crisp apples, reading school books aloud, whispering about his day, his friends, the silly things in class. Whenever he told a good joke, Nightwind would tilt his head, and Sam would hear it, the faint, happy ring of the tiny bell. The strange things still happened. The bell, the shadows, the broom. But now they felt like helpers. One cool evening, just before Halloween, a stranger walked into the stable, an old woman with kind eyes and a distant memory shining there.
He looks happy. You have kept him safe?
Sam could only nod.
Nightwind is a guard, a promise keeper.